Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Kitchings Table. I'm your host, Earl Kitching, and as always, we are glad to have you here with us on another beautiful Tuesday morning. I hope that your day is going well, and I hope that your week will be even better. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Miss Ronline Cannady. Good morning, Ronline. How are you today?
Good morning. I should say bonjour last week. So, and
No
bonjour.
bonjour today.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. Looking forward to another good show. I hope this is will be just as entertaining as our shows the last couple of weeks dealing with the Olympics. And real quick before we jump into our show today, congratulations to all our Olympians, all our medal winners, and everyone who gave their best effort at the Olympics representing the country. And best wishes to our para athletes who are Paralympians who will be performing this week in the Paralympics in France. So best wishes to them, and we hope that they perform well and replicate what the other Olympians have already done by bringing home medals in their particular sports. Those are a little bit more challenging, but those athletes are up for the test. They've been practicing a long time to get ready for this opportunity. So we're looking forward to them doing their thing at the Paralympics in Paris. So,
Yes, I'm very excited about that. I am looking forward to it. Just to see some of the ones that's going to be participating. Um, they're getting ready. As they say, they already ready. So, yes, I'm looking forward to that.
okay, well, let's see what happens.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens. And I wonder if they're going to hold Snoop Dogg over for the Paralympics.
Well, he does have a children's show, so I was wondering that myself.
Well, he was based on what I saw online. He was getting compensated pretty good to be over there doing those shows at the Olympics. So for that kind of, as they say, cheese, yeah, I would be at the Olympics too.
All day, every day, right?
All day, every day. Where do you need me to be?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see how that works out. So Ronnie, let me just ask you a question. What's your favorite hamburger fast food restaurant?
Wendy's.
Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And you know what? That was one I forgot to put on the list, but I'll get it on there. So Wendy's would be it, right?
Wendy's would be it.
Okay. And I would say Wendy's, when we talk about the broad scope of the hamburger, and we're only talking about the hamburger fast food today. I will mention some others, but the hamburger fast food started this fast food industry, I would say. So, and I think Wendy's, from a national perspective and even international perspective, is the last fast food hamburger restaurant to come on the scene, if I'm not mistaken. I can't think of anyone who came after Wendy's that's got national platforms. So
Okay.
Wendy's is yours, right?
Wendy's is mine.
And I'm gonna take you back to before there was a Wendy's and all these others. There were some smaller ones, but the one that probably became a little bit more national known. And I'm gonna see if you remember this image. There was an image on the main sign to this fast food restaurant for hamburgers where they had a guy sitting on top of the hamburger holding a big milkshake. Do you know who that was?
Um, yes, but I can't think of it. But yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I
I'm,
want to.
I'm,
The one
I'm
that comes to mind is the Is it the Jack in the Box?
Nah, I forget. Jack in the Box. No, I'm gonna give
Okay,
you the slogan.
or is it the hamburger?
No, the hamburger. The
It's the
hamburger was a character from McDonald's. No, but I'm gonna give you the slogan for the restaurant I'm talking about first, and I know you'll get it after that. Have it your way.
Burger King.
So the first time I ever saw Burger King, it was a hamburger with the king sitting on top holding the milkshake, and that was the Burger King. McDonald's had not, at least not in Florida, at least not in Jacksonville, had not come on the scene yet. But Burger King, from what I remember, was the first one. But they are not the very, very, very first hamburger chain to start this whole process. And our show today is called Hamburger Fast Foods Drive-Thru. Because I don't think there was, I don't recall it being drive-thrus when we were growing up. You had to actually go in and get it. And you said Wendy's. Another one I forgot to put on this list was, just like we got Burger King, what would be the direct opposite of Burger King?
Besides McDonald's?
See, here's where we start talking about, a play on words. So what would be the direct opposite of Burger King?
I don't know.
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen. Oh! Yeah, Dairy Queen burgers just was wiped out of my head. When I think about Dairy Queen, I'm thinking about the milkshakes.
Yeah, you think about the ice cream.
Ice cream, yes.
That's why I was kind of saying the direct opposite of Burger King would
Dairy
be
Queen.
the Queen.
Yes.
Dairy Queen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm with you now.
Okay, so we had a Burger King and we had a Dairy Queen, the queen of ice cream and dairy. That's why, they couldn't call it ice cream queen, so they gave it Dairy Queen.
Well, you know what? Thank you for let me just put this topic right on out there. Thank you for bringing this aboard, because this does lighten up the load. And yes, the idea, I wanted to laugh today, so I got what I wish. And my childhood memory of Dairy Queen, my godparents lived in what is that, Indianapolis? No, Indiana. They lived in Hammond,
That's where Indianapolis is.
Okay, they lived in Hammond, Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so every time that I would visit with them, because we lived in Chicago at the time, but every time I would visit with them, that was the first thing that they took me to was Dairy Queen. And for me to be that little girl holding that cone with those three appeared to be scoops with that chocolate dripped on and for me to bite into the top of the little swirl.
Yes. Yes.
That just did it for me. It didn't matter what was going on in the day, why I was even there or whatever. Dairy Queen did it for me.
Okay, so you speak about the ice cream. I'm going to ask, do you remember the Dilly Bar?
No.
So the Dilly Bar was the ice cream dipped. It was an ice cream on a stick dipped in chocolate, and it was frozen. They called it the Dilly Bar.
Okay. Was that from Dairy Queen too?
That was from Dairy Queen.
Okay. I may have had one.
Yeah.
May have had one.
And then, of course, Dairy Queen became the queen of the slushies.
Yes.
And we all know what slushies are known for.
Yes.
Tell them.
All of those flavors.
Okay, so you remember the flavors, and then I was talking about that brain freeze.
Oh, the ice. Yes.
You drink that slushy real fast, and all of a sudden you just stop because your head is like, oh my goodness, I drank it too fast. I drank it too fast. And you're just going like, oh. That's the first thought I remember of a slushy from a Dairy Queen, man. You're so happy to get one, and you start taking it, and unlike a soft drink, you want to drink, and you're like, no, you can't go fast now.
No, you can't. Now, let me tell you what happened to me where slushy was concerned. As a child, I used to suffer with nosebleeds.
Mm.
And my godparents, I was having an episode of a nosebleed, and my godmother said, "Get her a slushy." And she asked the lady for a spoon instead of the straw. And so she was giving it to me because she was like, "You can't go fast or whatever." She said, "But I got a feeling this is gonna stop your nosebleed."
Gotcha.
And it did.
Yeah.
It did. Mm-hmm.
It should, because everything in your head gets frozen. It's like it just stops. Everything stops.
Yes.
So yeah, I remember that. But anyway, the fast food industry is a $570 billion industry. That's the estimated worth of the fast food industry as of 2018, $570 billion. And it was created for busy commuters, travelers, and wage workers. You needed to go to lunch, get you something to eat. You don't have a whole lot of time. When lunch breaks got cut from an hour to 30 minutes, man, you don't have time to go out, get something, and come back. You need something quick and fast. So the fast food industry came about, and the definition of fast food is edibles that are mass produced to be served expeditiously. Therefore, speed is the major priority. That's why they call it fast foods. Cost effective, engineered for the busy working population, as it states here, and they don't spend a whole lot of time cooking. It is cooked very well, and a lot of it is pre-cooked for some of it. Some of it is great flavor. And like I said, we're talking about the hamburger part today, because I know some people would jump into that, as we used to call it, that barnyard pimp, aka fried chicken. But we're just dealing with the hamburger part today. And when we talk about that hamburger part, when I got to thinking about this, I'm like, man, that is a major industry when we talk about ground beef, and the fact that so much ground beef is produced every year to make it a multi-billion-dollar industry. So I thought I would start out with the name known entities in the business. And I apologize. I was sitting there just having too much fun thinking about the industry, the restaurants that I was really, really familiar with. And trust me, Wendy's is one. It just did not click in my head to think about Wendy's. So the first one I started with was Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
And Burger King started out and was founded in Miami, Florida. Did you know that?
Yes, I learned that.
Okay. And it was founded in 1953, and it was called Instaburger.
Mm-hmm.
Instaburger was a Jacksonville food-based restaurant chain. So I guess they merged. Burger King.
Did you know anything about Instaburger? Because I didn't.
I never had heard of Instaburger.
Okay.
Never heard of it. I mean, Burger King, and of course, locally in Jacksonville, it was called Barry's.
Oh, okay.
You never ate at Barry's?
I don't think so.
Okay. So Barry's was an independently owned and operated one hamburger restaurant place located over near Jefferson in the Springfield area. And they were known for these hamburgers that, back then they used to wrap the hamburgers in wax paper.
I remember that.
And wax paper don't hold it don't hold juice very well. And they would put that burger in that brown bag, and that brown bag would get that juice stain at the bottom, and get that dark brown stain at the bottom, and you get your fries. And of course, Barry's milkshakes were the thing. So
Okay.
that was pretty popular. But then Burger King came along, and the rest is history. All the independent small places basically got pushed out because they couldn't compete. So Burger King started out in Miami. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Burger King is headquartered in Miami, but they say here the company was founded in '53 as Insta Burger, a Jacksonville, Florida-based restaurant chain. That's what it says here. What I got
Okay.
off the internet. So it's headquartered in Miami, but it started out as Insta Burger, and I guess some kind of way they created this Burger King, and they like the beer company Budweiser, the king. I guess they became the king of hamburgers. But in today's time, uh, Burger King generates $1.8 billion as of 2021, $1.8 billion annually, and they have 19,000 plus locations throughout the world.
Mm.
19,000. 19,000 Burger King locations with the charbroil, and that was the other thing, the charbroil. Fast food charbroil, not grilled on that flat surface, but put through a conveyor belt system where the meat was broiled top and bottom in a matter of seconds. And man, let me tell you, when you pass by a Burger King and you smell that burger being cooked up and that aroma fills the air, it makes you want to get you a burger. I
Right then
mean,
and there.
right then and there. You're thinking about going one place and you stop like, no, we're turning in right here. So Burger King, BK as they call it, BK Burger King as they now call it. But I think they have one of the most known slogans throughout the food industry when they say, have it your way.
Yes.
Have it your way. And that has been a trademark of theirs for a very long time. So, but they are not the king anymore. They're Burger King, but they're not the king of the burger fast food industry. We don't have to say but one word, and we know who's at the top of that list, and it's not McDowell's.
It's not, huh? Okay.
You know McDowell's, don't you?
Yes.
From Coming to America, McDowell's.
Yes.
But but Burger King was the one that jumped out there first. But in 1940, McDonald's was operated by Richard and Maurice McDonald in San Bernardino, California. That's when it started. But then Ray Kroc became the guy and took over the company, and he bought out the McDonald brothers. And so he bought them out, and he kept the name, and he added the golden arches. And they say it is the world's largest fast food restaurant chain. 69 million customers served in over 100 countries.
Wow.
41,822 restaurants worldwide. 41,000.
Mm, mm.
41,000. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot of hamburger.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And the talk about that and the numbers, that's why I love you about that. You always say, stop talking percentages and actually, start talking about the numbers, because that gives you a broader perspective as in what's going on out here. Especially when you're talking about manufacturing, and all of the, as you say, that whole industry, that whole platform, and what
Yeah.
it takes in order to
Yeah.
make that happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think people associate McDonald's with Ray Kroc, but it started with two brothers, the McDonald brothers, back in 1940. And everything starts with that first little small restaurant, and the industry, like the car industry, when Henry Ford made automation with cars, when he created the assembly line, a fast food place is just a version of an assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
You're cooking up a lot, fixing it up and getting it ready because you want it to go fast. When you got a line of people and they want to get that order in, you want to be able to give it to them and boom, get them out the way. So you're serving 69 million customers daily. 69 million. So their revenue, Ronline, I'm gonna just compare. Burger King is at 1.8 billion. McDonald's is at $25.5 billion. And these are 2023 numbers. $25.5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
41,000.
And I want to say something right there. When I calculated what the average restaurant makes per week, it's like I was so proud of the people who took the stand, and I believe it was McDonald's employees first that said, you know what, you all need to pay us more money. And based on the stats you just said about how many people they're serving, and everything is based on speed for service and all of those nuances that goes into that, plus your inspections. You got to be able to pass them or else you'll get shut down. So it's a lot of pressure there. And so you should get paid. And with those kind of numbers coming in, it's like, yeah, you need transportation, you need housing, you have the same kind of bills going on as the people, as the people higher up, that those people that are really making the money in these industries. So it's like, hey, I need insurance, I need, I don't need no less than what you need. Whatever it's taking for your household to be managed, I need the money as well. And with these kind of numbers, I'm glad they're asking for it. So that's my little 2 cents.
Well, and I agree with you that workers should be compensated fairly. I will say this, not in defense of these large corporations. However, just the logistics of a large corporation like McDonald's. Because when you're talking about this type of industry, if you're just talking about McDonald's on its own, they're making 25, times the amount of money that Burger King makes. They've got almost 3 times, well, no, 2 times the amount of restaurants. But when you talk about logistics, and you may have seen them, and I know I've seen them, the trucks that must move their products from home base to get it out to all these locations. To make up all this food, to put it on trucks, to get it out to all these restaurants daily, the advertising, the stores. I mean, because franchisees buy the stores, but there's so much involved with it. And just so people know, Ray Kroc was a franchisee when he started in 1955, when he started. And his vision, he probably saw it like nobody else. He saw it like nobody else, because to buy these guys out and grow it into, from one, let's just say there were 10 of them, McDonald's, and to grow it into 41,000, he had a vision. And once he invested his dollars, got other people to invest, it just took off. So, but you think about the advertising that's spent, and a lot of times we think about, well, they're making a lot of money. Yes, they do. I agree. They do make a lot. However, at the same time, a lot has to be spent, and we don't think about that sometimes because every time you see a commercial, man, that somebody got to pay for that commercial to be on the air. So it's they should pay their workers, compensate their workers fairly. So it's a great industry and it requires a lot. Like I said, that's a lot of hamburger meat. That's a lot of hamburger meat.
And I think about the farming that goes in the whole agriculture system, um,
Absolutely.
that goes into everything. But back to my workers. If the workers doesn't show up and they do not perform to serve those customers, it'll be a lot of inventory sitting around,
It will be.
So
It
yes,
will be.
so I think the workers who stood up for fair wages, I'm glad that they did, to get compensated what they get compensated as of today. I know that is a push to go back to the days of old, but just to look at the numbers for 2023, I wouldn't advise that.
Right. Okay. Now, I gave you the Burger King slogan that we all are familiar with. Now, McDonald's comes up with a lot of different slogans, but I think they had one slogan that has resonated for years, and I think that slogan probably is the most known slogan that they had. It's like watching commercials for Toyota, and you hear all these slogans they've come up with, but there's one Toyota commercial that resonates, even though they don't use it like they once did. Uh, like Budweiser, King of Beers, that slogan is never going to go away. Never. It's just it's a true statement. The King of Beers. I mean, it don't get any higher than that.
Yeah.
And like with BMW, the ultimate driving machine. What could be that? That's it. So, do you recall, or can you think of what might be the one slogan that resonates from the past that made McDonald's kind of that place? Can you think of that?
The one that stuck with me is the Hamburglar.
Oh, that's
And that goes way back.
okay. The Hamburger is a character.
Right, but
But
that's
what?
that's
That's
the
not a.
one.
Now
Yeah.
that wouldn't be the slogan. So you're not thinking about that slogan I'm talking about.
No.
So I'll give it to you. You deserve a break today.
Okay.
That to me is the slogan from McDonald's. You deserve a break today. I mean, no
Mm.
matter what else, they've come up with a lot of different ones, and they got one now. I'm loving it. Okay, yeah, but I still think you deserve a break
Or
today.
break today.
You deserve a break today. So come to McDonald's.
Come
You
on to
deserve a break today.
McDonald's. Yeah, sit on
Yes,
down.
indeed.
Enjoy
All
your
right.
meal.
So yeah. So before we get into the rest of our show for today, fast food industries drive-through. This is the Kitchings Table. I'm your host, W. Kitchings. As always, on Tuesday mornings, we bring you our show. Co-hosting with me is my co-host, Ms. Ronline Cannady, and we're having too much fun here. You know how we know we're having too much fun? Because we're only halfway through the show. We've only talked about two places. That's how we know we're having too much fun. Okay, so I'm gonna bring us back to our theme for today: fast foods drive-through. I think the fast food industry created this drive-through thing because we become a society of things have to be instant. They got to be done right away, quickly. So now let me bring up this fast food. Now you talked about being in Chicago. What's the fast food in Chicago that made Chicago famous? Since you was in
So
Chicago, oh, don't be talking about
I don't know. I didn't stay there that long.
What?
So yeah, I didn't stay there that long. I was gonna say it was either, well, I think it was it Red Castle, White Castle, any of
White
those
Castle.
castles? Okay,
White Castle.
okay.
White Castle is pretty much predominantly known in the Chicago area, but it really started in Wichita, Kansas.
Okay.
in 1921, and it's been credited as the world's first fast food hamburger chain.
Mm.
The first. And they came out with these things called sliders.
Like the little mini burgers,
The
like
little mini
Crystal.
burgers. And when in 1921, 1920, 1921, they were 5 cents. 1929, they went up, let's see. Yeah, it went up to 5 cents. And then it went up to 10 cents in 1949. And like I said, it became known as that fast food restaurant. You go to Chicago, people want you to go, hey man, let's go to White Castle.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I want to go to McDonald's. No, we're going to White Castle.
Castle.
Right? White Castle generates $720 million as of 2019, and they have 350 locations. So you compare that to McDonald's and Burger King, hundreds versus thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could not find a slogan for them.
And then billions versus millions.
Yes, billions versus millions.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other fast food location that was similar to White Castle, you know what that one is?
That has to be Crystal.
That's Crystal's.
Okay.
Okay. And Crystal's was founded in 1932 in Chattanooga, Tennessee, by a Mr. Roddy Davenport Jr. and J. Glenn Sherrill. And they came up with this during the Great Depression, somewhat. And, you know, their first customer ordered 6 Crystals and a cup of coffee, all for 35 cents.
$35 to get you a whole meal. 35 cents to get you
a cup of coffee for 35 cents.
Yes, something to eat and wash it down.
So when you add all 6 things together, that averages about 6 cents.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Wow.
As in today, you're going to pay about $11 or $12.
They say that 35 cents now is comparable to $6.17 today.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So this guy, Roddy Davenport, had gone to Chicago and visited White Castle, took note of what they were doing and brought it back to Chattanooga and set up a restaurant. And that's how Crystal's became that Southern restaurant with the mini burgers.
Mm-hmm. The
yes,
sliders.
Indeed.
The sliders.
Sliders.
The sliders.
The sliders.
The little mini burgers.
Yes. And then in 19 let me
pressed
see.
Meat with the pressed meat.
The pressed meat, yes. You know, you got to know some people who are out here in the beef industry. That once again, that's a lot of hamburgers.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of hamburgers. That comes a long ways from the cowboy days of getting a grub steak to a hamburger. And,
right.
And thinking about that, I don't know if you remember the comedian. He wouldn't cuss when he would do his routine. He would just go hamburger.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So, I recall, you know, some small, like I said, fast food places. I know during the summers when I grew up in Tallahassee, there was a place called Chandler's in Tallahassee, and it was home based out of Thomasville, Georgia, but they opened up a spot in Tallahassee, and it was the equivalent of a McDonald's until McDonald's came to Tallahassee.
Okay.
The exact same thing. They had a kind of an image of a I don't know what you would call it, but it's like a figurine figure, and they would have it on top of their sign. But when McDonald's came in, Chandler's went out. But in 1960, in Greenville, North Carolina, Wilbur Hardy opened up his restaurant chain called what?
Hardee's.
Hardee's. Hardee's. And that first store for him was opened in Rocky Mount. So, and that was opened by a Mr. Gardner and Mr. Rawls. And, they spread it from that point forward. So Hardee's has 5,800 plus locations. I could not find their revenue. And so that was Hardee's. And as we know, Dave Thomas opened up Wendy's and named it after his daughter, Wendy's, and came up with her picture, red-headed little girl with the pigtails, and Wendy's. And then now to rival Burger King's slogan of "Have it your way," and I know over time you move from one slogan to the other, but can you think of the one slogan that maybe solidified Wendy's place in the market that just stuck? I mean, when they came up with this, it stuck, and they had two actresses that made it stick because they would ask the proverbial question of what, Ronline? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Well, I tell you, I'm trying to set up my co-host with all these softballs, and she keeps on. I don't. Okay, Wendy's. The two old ladies would ask the question when they would go to the Wendy's and say, "Where's the beef?"
I'm spanking myself.
Where's the beef?
Where is the beef?
Now that would be because they would go to some other restaurant fast foods like a Burger King and the McDonald's. It was primarily targeted at McDonald's because Wendy's thing was fresh ground beef as opposed to that frozen patty that you put on the grill. So when they came out with that particular campaign, that marketing campaign, and those two old ladies would go to the restaurant and say, "Where's the beef?
Yeah.
Where's the beef?" Mm-hmm. And they had a thing too they called Wendy's burgers warm and juicy. Well, that turned into something else because all of a sudden they kind of, somebody said something about some insect being a part of their meat, and they turned into something else. But that "Where's the beef" had to be one of the most fun advertising campaigns that we saw during this time, because those two old ladies, when they show up and they would just ask that question, "Where's the beef?" Mm-hmm, like y'all don't make real hamburgers, so let's get to the beef, So those fast food chains have made quite a difference in the industry, and I would say McDonald's, Burger King, and then Wendy's are the top three fast food restaurants for hamburgers in that order. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I didn't think, and I was like, okay, the fast food of the Crystals, that came to mind. Then I remember White Castle, because everybody said you go to Chicago, you got to get White Castle. But Wendy's, it just did not cross my mind. Mm-hmm. So I apologize, but Dave Thomas, Wendy's, and he found a niche in the market, and they've rivaled the other fast foods, and this just goes to show you there's enough room for all of them.
Yes.
There's enough room for all of them. So you just got to have that unique marketing appeal. And again, when they came out, like I said, when they put that "Where's the beef" thing out, that took them over the top. Mm-hmm. Because now they put in your head fresh beef, not frozen, fresh. Everything we do at Wendy's is fresh.
Fresh. Mm-hmm.
Want that fresh burger? Go to Wendy's.
And let me tell you, just working at that chain, the things that goes into making it happen, making sure you have quality food, it's just a beautiful thing of what goes into that. It kind of remind me of the quality that Chick-fil-A brings about with their food as well. But Wendy's, I say hands down, from every product that comes into the store, they look at it as it has to be fresh. So that where is the beef? That's
Everything?
real beef. Say that again.
I said everything has to be fresh?
Yes, everything has to be fresh.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
that's a great thing to know because uh, as we talk about food service and the quality of food, and when you start talking about the food service industry and things being fresh, then yeah, that makes a difference. So, real quick, Marlene, Wendy's has 7,100 plus locations throughout the world, but they didn't give any indication of their revenue. Again, started by Dave Thomas in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And when he first started, it was QP Hamburgers, KEWPEE, in 1969. He founded Wendy's in Columbus, Ohio, and the rest is history.
Mm,
The rest
yes,
is history.
yes. Thank you for bringing this topic.
Are you hungry?
Yes, actually, I'm pressing on my stomach right now.
Oh, stop.
I,
Oh,
and
stop.
incidentally, I do have Wendy's waiting on me to after
Okay.
this break. So yes, I do. I have my
Okay.
Wendy's breakfast. It was brought in
Okay.
to me, so
All right.
I
All
didn't
right.
ask for it, but yeah.
And
And I have
Wendy's.
a salad. I have a salad. I have a fresh made salad waiting for me as well.
Well, just to go back to the company that probably was on the cutting edge of all this innovative stuff for the fast food industries, that has to go to McDonald's because they created so much. The
Hmm.
automated, the before McDonald's, the only thing you would go to these places and get hamburger, fries, and a drink. They brought the breakfast menu. Okay, okay, so now you can go to McDonald's and get breakfast, and then the one thing that McDonald's probably launched them over the top real quick and so fast was when they brought the kids menu to their stores with the kids meal and those characters, because those characters were just for the kids. So when they had McDonald's, it was just McDonald's, and then they put what with McDonald's?
Those
They
little
found
toys.
before that though, what did they put with McDonald's to put McDonald's in that posture of dealing with children? What did they bring?
Those toys, right?
The toys, but they had a character that helped them
Oh,
put
is that where my hamburger come in at?
that. Okay, so you stuck on this hamburger thing today. I mean, I don't know why you stuck on hamburger. He was not the guy.
Okay.
Who
So
was the guy
you
at
gonna have to
McDonald's?
tell me. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me who the guy is because the hamburger is it for me.
See, that's what I'm talking about. No, the hamburger is not the guy. His
It's
name is Ronald.
Ronald McDonald. Oh my goodness.
Clap your hands again. I mean, because you so stuck on the hamburger.
I'm sorry,
My
Mr.
goodness.
McDonald. It's many.
I
It's
can't make it
many.
any simpler without telling you, but it's like,
It's
no,
many
Ronald,
things that I have been events that I have been to. For the homeless drives, all of that. Ronald McDonald always
Ronald
showed up. Yeah,
McDonald. And Ronald McDonald was a what? Or is a what?
a mascot.
Oh my goodness. Ronald McDonald is a clown.
Okay, then Ronald McDonald Clown. That's what I was gonna say that earlier. When I started talking, when I was popping myself on the hand. But yes, I mean for the children and the
Okay.
adults as well, really.
Okay. But Ronald McDonald became that face of McDonald's for kids.
Yes.
Ronald McDonald.
And
And all the,
actually, they need to bring that back, really and truly.
well, I mean, trust me, they got it. They whenever they bring it back, it's a hit. But they got the other characters that they created from that, you know,
Mhm.
to go along with that feeding of children with the kids meal and and that made such a big hit with the kids because now they took a piece of the Cracker Jack box and made it a part of their breakfast meals or their meals for children. They gave you a prize, some kind of toy, which was something that the Cracker Jacks people did, you know, and I don't know if you did it, but once you knew what Cracker Jacks was, you would flip it over to the bottom of the box so you get to the toy first.
True. That is correct. And I love the tattoos.
Okay, so
that's what I wanted out the Cracker Jacks box were the tattoos.
So McDonald's did that, and then they start tying in with the movie industry and all the characters from that. So McDonald's has been first and foremost the fast food industry that has brought us so many innovative things in the fast food industry that everybody else has taken a page from. So the people that they hired to work at McDonald's and be that industry, and then once they tied into, say, for instance, like Disney with some of the characters, it just blew up for McDonald's. And hey, 69 million customers a day. Yeah, multiply that times $1. Okay, a day.
A day.
That's just $1 now. Right. These meals nowadays are $7, $8, $9, $10. Okay, so yeah, $10 a day for 69 million customers. That's $690 million a day. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, Ronline, do you have something to share with us today from the Black History part?
All right, so just real quick, just some acknowledgments out here. Arby's, Chick-fil-A, and Captain D's.
Captain D's, Long John Silver's. That went to the seafood fast food industry.
Okay, all right.
Now go to the chicken fast food real quick before you leave them out.
Besides Chick-fil-A?
Besides Chick-fil-A.
KFC? Yeah,
Thank you.
KFC.
Thank you. I need you to start with the top now. I need you to start with the top. Okay. You start with the top. Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, the chicken in the bucket with the Colonel.
Right.
Then Popeyes.
Right. And then Bojangles.
Depending on where you live, Bojangles.
And Church's Chicken.
Church's. And I can't think of the other
Church's. Now they added Texas with their with the Churches. So yes.
Mrs. Winters. Do you remember Mrs. Winters?
No.
Okay. That used to be a fast food chicken chain.
Okay.
So yeah, and then when we get to the other fast foods, it's called pizza.
Yes, and Pizza Hut. Some of us may remember Pizza Inn.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Domino's and now Papa John's.
Papa John's. And we know Papa John's because they got the Big Papa. The Big Papa with doing Papa John's. When the Big Papa bought into the Papa John's franchise, it took them to a whole nother level. So when Shaq Daddy became a franchise owner, a major owner of Papa John's, it took it to a whole nother level.
Yes.
You know,
All right, so
yeah, Jack Diesel and Papa John's.
All right, so here is our Black History acknowledgement for today. Gold medalist Noah Lyles. Let me tell you, when I found out, when they did that announcement that he had COVID and he ran anyway and came in with the bronze, my heart just collapsed when he did, And I just want to say congratulations, Noah Lyles, for winning the gold for the 100 meters. And for the 2024 Olympic Games. And coming in with the bronze with the 200 meters. So I just want to thank everyone. Brittany Griner, it was good to see her, doing her thing in the basketball world. Congratulations to all of the participants of the 2024 Paris Olympics. And I look forward to 2028 in Los Angeles. So I turn it back over to you, Mr. Kitchings, for the closeout.
I would be remiss if I didn't make this one comment. 60 years ago, in 1964, the great Bob Hayes won double gold at the Olympics. and he is the only athlete in the history of sports to have won a Super Bowl ring and gold medal. So kudos to Bob Hayes. Hey, that's going to about do it for us. We're out of time. We got to go. Okay. Hope you enjoyed our show today on fast foods. Until next Tuesday, for Ronline, Cannady, I'm Earl Kitchings. And as we always say, hey, do something good for somebody else today. Take care, everybody. Go get a burger.